Have you ever been amazed at the fact that you've lived in a town or city all your life and most days you see someone you've never seen before? Well, you're not alone, and this phenomenon isn't only limited to people and places. There's a whole lot more you've never seen. From the hairless chimp to the albino turtle with a serious heart defect, here are 15 things that you will see for the first time in your life. Number 15. Chimpanzee without hair. If you've ever wondered what a chimpanzee would look like without fur, you can wonder no longer. Where some animals are born hairless, others lose their hair for other reasons, including chimpanzees. They suffer from the autoimmune disorder alopecia. This causes hair loss and also occurs in humans. To say they look terrifying is possibly an understatement, as the muscle-bound chimps strut their stuff both in the wild and in captivity. And for those wondering how strong they really are, it's quite obvious underneath all that hair that they are a muscle-bound beast with a body not unlike that of the Incredible Hulk. The pumped-up chimpanzees don't look anything like their hair-covered counterparts, who appear positively friendly in comparison. It's quite surprising the difference a lack of hair can make, don't you think? Considering the physique that is hiding underneath the chimpanzee's hair, it comes as little surprise that biologists say the aggressive jungle creatures are at least 4 times stronger than their human cousins. Although our closest living relative, sharing between a whopping 95 to 98% of the same DNA, when it comes to muscular strength, there really is no comparison, with the chimp coming out the clear winner. And when you look at pictures and clips of chimps in their almost naked form, it's hard to disagree with the experts, isn't it? Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 14. Purple grape agate. It might look like a grape, but don't try and bite into it or you could be going away to the dentist quick smart. The purple grape agate looks like a berry, but it's anything but. It's actually a gemstone. Or a crystal to be precise, and a healing one at that. Considered a powerful fire element used in the south area of a home, it is used in the devotions to several goddesses and acts as a psychic stimulator and protector. Found on the Sulawesi island of Indonesia, the agate forms in clusters that resemble a bunch of small grapes. Their color too adds to the confusion, ranging from pale to deep purple and even green. Dark and very sparkly agate is the most desired and fetches the highest prices. The crystals are relatively new to the market, first exported from Indonesia around 2015. Outside of amethyst and some fluorite, purple minerals in the natural world are limited, hence the increased popularity in this gemstone. They are mined in an area of rugged, jungle-covered mountains in the northern end of the Manakara mining district on the Sulawesi island from within pockets of blue-gray clay in a weathering andesite bedrock. It is hard work carried out in difficult terrain and always by hand, as only the specimens near the surface are collected. Number 13. Albino turtle whose heart is located not inside, but outside its chest. They might be beautiful and create a lot of public interest, but baby albino turtles are very rare, with the sulcata breed most likely to be born with the condition. They are also considered endangered, but do tend to live longer than other albino animals on the planet, so that's at least one bonus. Albino turtles are not always white, they can sometimes be red. Imagine that, a red turtle. And one born in New Jersey in 2019 has even more to boast about. She was born with her heart beating outside her body. Miraculously, she has defied all the odds and continues to thrive. Named Hope by her owner Mike Aquilina, she shares a similar condition to one that affects about 1 in 126,000 births, ectopia cordis. So not only is she pure white, but she has a rare life-threatening condition as well. It's no wonder she was named Hope. With a one-of-a-kind condition like this, there are really no guidelines to follow. Poor Hope must be kept isolated from other turtles and is handled as little as possible. How sad. Number 12. Invisibility Cloak. Let's face it, when you ask children what superpower they would like to have, quite often they say invisibility, and they're not alone. How many times have you wished you could be a fly on the wall at a party, a meeting, or perhaps even in the middle of the lunchroom gossip? Well, what about the occasion where you wish the ground could open up and swallow you whole? We've all had a situation like that. Well, now there's a possible solution that could help us out, and it's really very clever. It's also likely to become the fashion accessory of the future, so fashionistas should watch this space. Yes, it's an invisibility cloak.
Invisibility cloak material from Hyperstealth Biotechnology Corporation.
There are several options available too, so the choice is yours. There's no need to feel envious of the boy wizard any longer. Science fiction and fantasy will soon be the new norm. How exciting! For those of you keen on having access to an invisibility cloak, there are limited options at this stage, and they are all far from perfect, unfortunately. But we can live in hope, can't we? From the garment heated via electrical stimulation to the one made from metamaterials or the simple camouflage option created by the same principles of the blue screen, there are a few options available for those looking to literally disappear. Work continues on each option, but rest assured there is a possibility an invisible cloak may join your wardrobe soon. Number 11. Car in disguise. When it comes to new vehicle designs, some manufacturers go to great lengths to keep future models under wraps, and who could blame them? There are many who have suffered the consequences of releasing their designs too early.
The techniques we've developed for our camouflage come from our own experience.
Only for a competitor to beat them to the punch. So now they don't take any chances. In fact, the art of automotive camouflage has evolved significantly in recent years, with some intriguing examples, including a car sporting an unusual Viking helmet to keep its real identity under wraps. Some also see it as a form of promotion. With prototypes tested on public roads, it's the perfect opportunity for manufacturers to advertise their latest look, albeit in disguise. Vinyl wraps with psychedelic swirls and fully amorphous blankets distract prying eyes from the exact curvature of the metal panel work as the latest models take to the streets. It's all very cloak and dagger, don't you think? It's certainly an intriguing idea of the vehicle manufacturing business, with Bentleys designed to look like Mercedes and Toyotas covered in what look like compact discs, to the Hyundai sporting a black bra and an Alfa Romeo covered in gaffer tape. You name it, these guys will try anything to keep the mystery alive. And with the car market worth literally billions and highly competitive, it's easy to see why. Number 10. Bubbles Net. Rare footage of humpback whales creating bubble nets was captured by researchers from the University of Hawaii, UH, at Manoa Marine Mammal Research Program, in collaboration with the Alaskan Whale Foundation and Stanford University. The footage of the whale's unique behavior was captured by two cameras, a drone hovering overhead and one attached to the whale's backs. It is considered groundbreaking information and helps give some indication into how these mammals can manipulate their prey for capture. The humpback whales are seen blowing streams of spiraling bubbles to create bubble nets. Their prey is effectively caught in the net, unaware they're about to be captured by one of the largest predators in the ocean. Whilst for humans, blowing bubbles at the dinner table is considered impolite, for humpback whales, it's pretty much a necessity and a clever ploy to trap their dinner. The footage, captured in waters near southeastern Alaska, shows the feeding whales swim through the center of the net and gulping down anything caught inside. Now that's ingenious, don't you think? Number 9. Skating on thin ice. For Swedish ice skating enthusiasts Henrik Trigg and Martin Agni, skating on thin ice doesn't mean stop what you're doing or else. It means it's time to hit the ice. To some, it might seem a little mad considering we've all been taught to be wary of thin ice, but for this pair, it's what they love to do. Skating on thin, black ice has become a passion, with photographer and filmmaker Trigg capturing the clear, black appearance of the ice as he dances across it on his skates. The sound created underneath him is special too, a laser-like symphony created when his body weight passes over the ice. Agni, a mathematician, has written many books on the phenomena that is Nordic skating. The book features many of Trigg's photographs. They have been skating for decades and understand the intricacies involved in skating on such thin ice that has effectively just begun to freeze. Both men enjoy the ultimate thrill that wild ice skating gives them, calling it the holy grail for adrenaline junkies. Trigg and Agni travel an average of between 40 to 50 kilometers on a typical day, describing their most desirable conditions as virgin black ice, just thick enough to bear their weight. And why doesn't it break? Well, as luck would have it, it's the water underneath it that makes it relatively safe. Like an ancient Roman arch or dome, the sides support the top, unless of course the ice gets too thin. Then you might take an unexpected dip in the freezing waters. Urgh. Number 8. Ancient windmills. Ancient windmills located in the Nashtafan village in the northeastern part of Iran are both unique and operational. Given their age, this is an incredible story of ancient workmanship at its finest. Strong winds blow across the area, both ensuring the 1,000-year-old structures are continually on the move and protecting the village from their devastating gales. Carefully designed and built from natural clay, straw, and wood, the windmills overlook the village and are still, to this day, used for milling grain for flour. The vertical axis design is believed to be like that invented by the Persians around 500 CE, and despite its long history in Iran, just one man remains as their custodian in the village. Though it's recognized as a national heritage site, the ancient technology is only tended to by Haj Ali Mohammed Etabari, who has devoted his life to the windmills, tirelessly protecting them whilst keeping the secret of the ancient artifact's construction. He has no apprentice, no children, or local people who have shown any desire to pass this historic legacy to. So how long they continue to exist in the condition they're in is anyone's guess. Number 7. Stone Forest. Since the Ming Dynasty from 1368 to 1644, this set of limestone groups has represented South China's karst landscape. Considered the first wonder of the world, Kunming Stone Forest is one of the most important attractions of Yunnan.
Located in Madagascar is a forest unlike any other. This forest is made of stone.
In fact, a visit to Kunming isn't complete without a trip to the Stone Forest, where natural stones of various formations, including animals, plants, and even human figures, can be found. Some are elegant, others are rugged, but each is lifelike and unique. Located 120 kilometers from Kunming, the forest measures approximately 400 square kilometers in diameter. Its magnificent, strange, and steep landscape creates countless labyrinthian vistas. Geologists say the stone forest began to form approximately 270 million years ago, when the region was a vast expanse of sea. Over time, the movements of the rigid outer part of the Earth gradually caused a retreat of the waters and the rise of the limestone landscape. Consistent erosion by the elements has developed the forest into the one seen today. Many beautiful legends originate in this magical place, with one in particular told of Ashima, a beautiful, clever, and warm-hearted Sani girl. She is believed to have run into the forest and was turned to stone after being forbidden to marry the man she loved. This story has been told for years and is celebrated every year on June 24th with the Torch Festival. The festival includes traditional performance including wrestling, bullfighting, and lion dancing. Number 6. Shark Stomach Eversion. You know that feeling when you get really nervous and you think you might be sick? Well, surprisingly, sharks can sympathize. They, however, take it one step further, literally coughing up their own stomach. It sounds ghastly, and I bet it's stomach-turning to watch too, but many different species have been documented regurgitating the indigestible parts of whatever they recently ate. This is all believed to be linked to a stress response. However, it's only in severe cases that vomiting is induced. Described as a gastric eversion triggered by stress, the shark is seen to purge any of the stomach contents it can't break down. Leftovers like feathers, sea turtle beaks, and lobster claws have been spat up by sharks for years, to the point it's now just described as natural behavior. Just imagine being able to manipulate your digestive organs to the point that you could spit out your stomach, remove the contents you're unsure of, and swallow it again. Not only does this unusual cleansing practice sound bizarre, but the whole process can take less than a second. Crazy, but true. Number 5. Whistled language. There's no denying that whistling has proved an effective form of communication over the years. Just look at farmers and their dogs. Their connection is obvious, and for the most part includes various whistling techniques and the occasional strong word or two. But did you know that whistling is actually classed as a language, and one devised and used between humans for centuries? Rare compared to spoken language, whistled language is found in several cultures and countries across the globe, including Africa, Turkey, France, and Mexico. Whistling is used to simulate and articulate words, particularly in regions with steep mountains and rugged terrain. This method of communication is mainly used by agricultural communities as an effective way of keeping in contact across long distances. Particularly useful for those who spend most of their lives outdoors, the practice is becoming less and less common as technology gets in the way. In fact, with the use of mobile phones these days, whistled language is almost extinct, at least between humans anyway. Between human to animal, it will continue for all eternity. Number 4. Igloo Bar. The Igloo Bar at Zippel Bay Resort is located on the frozen lake of the woods. Transported there in 2 parts, bolted together, and enjoyed by many, the Igloo Bar is a phenomenon recreated throughout the world.
Mick had come up with an idea of this igloo bar on ice.
This bar, however, is slightly more unique because it actually sits on ice, over 1,000 square feet of it to be exact. With sub-zero temperatures in the area over the festive season, the bar is open for business once the ice is 15 inches thick. This ensures it can safely handle the weight of its patrons. The area is a hive of activity, with winter activities around the Lake of the Woods in full swing. Most Igloo Bar revelers are ice anglers and snowmobilers looking to celebrate, escape the house, and have some fun. Where most of us would rather not deal with winter, in these parts it is celebrated and welcomed. Boasting some of the best ice fishing in the world, Lake of the Woods encourages anglers of all ability levels and all walks of life to partake in this activity. And it's not just the fishing and snowmobiles that keep people entertained. The bar is loaded with big screen TVs, a hot food menu, and heated porta potties that look like little igloos in the restrooms. Sounds like they've thought of everything, doesn't it? Number 3. Floating schools in Bangladesh. Rising water levels often lead to floods, and with that, canceled classes for school children. But the people of Bangladesh have come up with a novel way of fixing that. In the northwest of Bangladesh, tied up in the banks of the Atrai River, is a small beige boat packed with narrow benches and occasionally boisterous children. 29 third graders fit into this narrow vessel, sitting shoulder to shoulder and facing the blackboard, all ready for a day of learning. The boats are the brainchild of a local charity who, having seen the challenges that teachers face in resource-poor communities, decided to do something about it. Not only do they have to deal with funding constraints, outdated textbooks, and overcrowded classrooms, they also have the constant worry about monsoon rains. Flooding is so common in Bangladesh that often students can't even make it to school if, in fact, there is one. The new classrooms are easily accessible, with 23 of them now floating all year round, ready and waiting for the children to enjoy their standard primary school classes. And what's more, the service is free. Number 2. Calbuco Volcano. Classified as a very explosive volcano, Calbuco is known to have erupted 36 times over its history, 13 of those in the 20th century, with the first in 1906 and the last in 2015. The volcano is located 49 kilometers from the city of Puerto Varas and 69 kilometers from Puerto Montt, and shares its name with nearby Calbuco Island, as well as the city and commune of Calbuco. The last volcanic activity recorded for Calbuco occurred in April 2015, where 3 eruptions took place over a period of 8 days. The first lasted 6 hours and generated an ash plume that rose over 15 kilometers in the air and drifted north and east. Several roads and bridges were impassable due to all the ash fall, and scientists flying overhead observed ash emissions from at least 6 vents. The second and third eruptions prompted the evacuation of about 5,000 residents within a 20-kilometer radius of the volcano. People were also warned not to go anywhere near drains due to lahar hazards. International travel was disrupted, with ash from the eruption reaching southern Brazil, prompting the cancellation of flights in and out of Santiago, Buenos Aires, and Montevideo, among others. Some houses in the area also collapsed from the sheer weight of the ash landing on them. Many further international flights were canceled or delayed before the seismic activity began declining. However, it wasn't until August that life began returning to normal. This event was the first for Calbuco since 1972, so the volcano certainly seems to have made the most of the occasion. Number 1. Moving house tradition. When it comes to moving house, we either pack up all our belongings ourselves, hire a U-Haul, or call in the professionals. But one Malay community have an intriguing tradition that involves moving by hand. Now, it sounds a little extreme, and trust me, it is. Instead of moving to a new house in a new area of the village, city, or country, they literally move the house. If you're sick of the area you live in but still love the house, it's the perfect solution. You simply gather up your nearest and dearest, hold hands, and transport your home together to a new destination. Obviously, the process is restricted to wooden homes and no doubt those of the smaller variety, but it is a tradition that has long been forgotten and rarely practiced by the current generation of the Malay community. The tradition has been occasionally revived by the organizers of the Lifting and Carrying Wooden Houses program, who have been known to get together to shift houses even just a short distance. I guess it'd be handy if you felt your home wasn't quite catching the afternoon sun, but what about the pipework? work. Let's hope a plumber was on hand. From the strange to the truly bizarre, there are a lot of things us humans have never seen, much less ever thought existed. There are also many things we've never heard of, like the fact a certain shark species vomits up its own stomach contents, or that there are such things as floating schools in Bangladesh. Could you imagine? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time!